And they took me to the hospital, and I saw my face in the mirror, and I said, okay, this is done. It's over. It's over before it started.
So guys, as you know, the US attacked Iran this week. I'm not gonna get into political left-wing, right-wing stuff, as I genuinely don't find it interesting, but what I do find interesting is Iranians' reaction to it. Before they completely cut off the internet in Iran, you would see people celebrating the airstrikes on rooftops, recording, cheering. Now, I honestly understand why Iranian women would want the regime gone. I get it why they wouldn't care if the entire infrastructure of the country is destroyed, if the entire country is leveled. I mean, you can see videos online. Women were literally crying out of joy. Dude, like, what the fuck was that? They were crying out of joy, bro.
وای به تو زدن وای به زدن به تو زدن وای چیکار کرد بودی گرفت آتیش گرفتی صداهای پشت سر هم سمت نارمک و فرجام از اینجا داره دیده میشه. تهران پارس. وای دارن میزنن خدای شکر.
شنبه شهرستان کامیاران استان کردستان پایگاه سپاه زدن. هیچ وقت اینقدر خوشحال نبودم.
Just take a look at social media and you are gonna see so many Iranian women celebrating the strikes. They are taking great pleasure at that. And it is so obvious to see why. Why Iranian women would want a regime change. Makes perfect sense. And I am not even saying this only because of social reasons. Only because of dating freely, being able to remove their hijab. But there is also the monetary aspect. The immediate money they could make online. Dude, there is such a big market out there. Especially in the Western countries. Men that have a fetish for Middle Eastern women, Persian women. Just imagine the potential if the sanctions are lifted. If the new government unbans OnlyFans, Twitch, Instagram, Tinder, all those social media platforms. Those Iranian women are gonna have such a strong grip on desperate men all over the world. Iranian men won't be able to compete with that. So many options, like you got a fence. And if you don't want to do OnlyFans, if you want to thirst trap more softcore way, you could open a Twitch account, play it off like a streamer. You could be like, oh, all the interesting things I have to say. It is because I am so funny. That is why all these men are watching my stream. You could play it off like that, bro. Because man's desperation knows no bounds. You could easily make bank. Endless opportunities, endless alternatives. If you don't want to run social media platforms, you can just find a rich dude, rich boyfriend through Instagram or Tinder, like a lot of Eastern European women do. Look at how many Eastern European women are running Dubai. With the amount of desperate men, the options are basically limitless.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
But if you are a 30-year-old dude, what are you gonna do? You will have to wait years before your country can recover from that, economically and socially, before international companies can invest in your country. You can't get the back just by posting the pictures of your feet online. You're gonna have to wait probably a decade for the country to stabilize and be rebuilt. In the meantime, you are gonna have to share the fate of Ukrainian men. With Iranian women dating out with ease, while you have to clear rubble, why would you celebrate your country getting leveled, turned into a pile of rubble? What's in it for you as a sub-8 male? A lot of Iranian men who celebrate this, who cheer on the strikes on their own country, are making a miscalculation. They make this miscalculation because they haven't lived through what we did. They haven't experienced the brutal hypergamy that we did. They have been shielded from the truth. You know, they always say, oh, yeah, you haven't experienced living under a theocratic dictatorship. True. But likewise, brother, you haven't experienced what we have. Your entire life, you have been living in a country, in an Islamic regime where the hypergamy is curbed, artificially curbed by the government. Women have to cover their heads. Promiscuity is punishable by law. Like, I am not saying there is no hypergamy over there, but those guys don't really understand the extent of it. They don't get how much worse it can be. Bro, like, they're gonna turn your country into a passport bro wasteland. I mean, at least for women living in Iran, it makes more sense. But bro, if this goes sideways, you might even end up with a failed state. Because they are bringing in foreign militias from neighboring countries. They are gonna take lands that belonged to Iran for hundreds of years. I mean, if it comes to the worst case scenario, you might even end up with a civil war. It would be the end of an ancient civilization. Even if you don't live in Iran, even if you made it out, an ancient civilization is getting destroyed. And you are too busy twerking on TikTok. This kid is shouting, I love Trump, right next to a strike. He's so clueless, bro. Because he ain't aware of what is awaiting them once there is an actual regime change. Bro, we are gonna see in 5 years, when you are watching Hamran videos, if you still say, I love Trump. We are gonna see then. Meanwhile, your looks match shows her souls on a live stream and makes more than you. Then we will see if you still say, I love Trump. Bro, like, you think you will be able to crack your looks match if the regime is gone? But when in reality, you are gonna crack Hamran videos. Because now, if the regime is gone, Iranian women will start having access to more money. They will have access to various methods like Tinder, Instagram. They are gonna be hooking up with dudes out in the open with impunity. They are gonna hop on fans, Twitch, TikTok, you name it. All the ways to make easy money by posting the pictures of their feet online. But you are gonna have to wait at least 10 years for the country to be rebuilt from the rubble, be stabilized politically. Only then you can enjoy the benefits. We are gonna see if you still say, I love Trump 5 years down the line when you are dealing with ethnic separatist groups. Because trust and believe, you are gonna have them. When there is political instability, when you are left with your dick in your hands, while your looks match posts her souls online and makes a living that way. We are gonna see then, bro. Careful what you wish for. You might just get it. He thinks he's gonna crack his looks match when there's a secular revolution. In reality, he's gonna crack Hamran videos. I mean, for women, yes, basically there's no downsides. But if you're a dude, if you're a male, there is plenty of downsides, potential downsides to consider. How much worse it can be. Never underestimate it. And make no mistake, I am not saying current Iran is the best. When you look at their birth rates, it is similar to the Western rates. So it is not a heaven, but those guys don't really know how much worse it can be. The degeneracy, the hypergamy, a hedonistic society to the fullest. They never really experienced these stuff themselves because the Islamic regime was shielding them from all of these. We are gonna see if you still love Trump when your country is turned into a JBW wasteland. Bro, like, they're gonna turn your country into a, Middle Eastern Thailand. Those sub-5 white men, will realize that they were into Persian culture all of a sudden. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, I always had a thing for Persian culture. It is such an ancient culture, ancient civilization. I'm telling you, man. I made a Muzungu Maxing video talking about the plight of Kenyan men in Kenya, how easy it is there for white men. And I am anticipating the same is gonna happen in Iran. Like, you will see a lot of white men flocking to Iran after the secular revolution. Iran is gonna be the next JBW wasteland.
There is a story going on X right now about a certain individual from Russia which has come to Kenya from Ghana, and that he's been sleeping around with a lot of ladies from Mombasa. I'm not sure if the rumors are true, but what caught my attention was that he's banging meat. He has come all the way from Russia for banging meat. My friend, let me tell you, it's not about banging meat. It's about how easy it is. And let me tell you, Kenya, take any chick, you talk nicely to her, she's yours.
I mean, sure, like there's inflation in Iran, shit economy because of all the sanctions, but once your country is turned into rubbles, your economy won't be great all of a sudden. It is gonna take years to rebuild it. It is just a trash situation to be in, either way, honestly. Choose your hell. You will just live a different kind of hell. They will have to endure a different kind of white beard. From Khamenei's beard to Hamran's beard. From one beard to another. At least they are gonna have access to video games. Because Iranian men are definitely gonna need it. Brother, trust and believe you are gonna need that video game to be able to cope with your new reality in a secular system, secular country with no infrastructure, with the buildings turned into rubble. At least you are gonna have the privilege of, buying the fans page of the girl you have a crush on. A lot of these guys are in for a rude awakening. Many of them are gonna look back at their behavior now and think, dude, what the hell was I thinking? There was a 28-year-old dude, for example, who robbed just because Trump didn't want to bomb his country at the time. These guys are gonna regret this in due time.
President Trump is going to make a deal with this regime. I mean, he told us to keep protesting, and we did it. We trust him. To make a deal with this regime, it's to betray all those people who died.
Bro, the fuck you mean betrayed? Why would Trump give a shit? The only reason he did end up attacking Iran is because Iranian government wouldn't budge, wouldn't bend the knee. Not because he gives a single shred of shit about how many of you die. Like, how many suckers are there in the world, bro? Bro, you are almost 30 years old. Your best years are behind you already. Then you are sub-8, mid-tier looking. Why do you care anyway? If you were 8 out of 10 male, yes, it makes perfect sense to protest. But like, if you are a sub-8 male, a 28-year-old, almost 30, you are gonna be 40 before you can finally reap the benefits of a rebuilt country, a rebuilt infrastructure, a stable country with a great economy. And that is assuming you don't end up with a divided country, a failed state, which is a very big if, because they are bombing Iran down to the police stations. Even regular police stations in Tehran are getting bombed right now. Trump doesn't care if your country falls into chaos. But even if everything goes right, let's assume everything goes right, it is gonna take a decade for you to actually reap the benefits. You are gonna be 40 years old, bro. Women, they can reap the benefits, financial benefits, almost immediately. As soon as Iran is back in SWIFT system, the international financial system, as soon as online bans are removed by the government, they can make a Twitch account, make a Tinder account. But what's in it for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I am a 30-year-old sub-7 broke dude in Iran, I am not doing shit, bro.
Many people say that we should take matters in our own hand, but how can you fight people with guns?
And guys, this right here is exactly why these guys haven't accomplished anything, have been failing for 50 years. They got the US intervention they have been begging for, and the chances are they will still fail. They will still fail because of this. Now the US is talking to different ethnic groups in Iran, promising them God knows what, probably their own country, if they fight against the regime. And the US has to do that because they know these guys, these Persian liberals, ain't about that life. Oh, they have guns. If you wanted, you could have gotten them too. It is just a matter of will, a matter of how much you are willing to sacrifice. A lot of things in life come down to conviction and willingness to sacrifice. The same goes for birth rates as well. There's a reason why poor people and less fortunate people end up with more children. because they are the ones willing to sacrifice.
Former CIA director, four-star general, sitting across from this insurgent. It's incredible. I mean, it blew my mind.
I want to talk about Shara, and I want to talk about this meeting that's quite unusual, that you have now the president of Syria, who was a former Al-Qaeda militant, meeting the American general, now retired General Petraeus, who arrested him.
Please join again in welcoming President Ahmed al-Shara to the stage.
And kept him in jail. He was in jail for years in Iraq under a false name. And he's now in New York, and he met General Petraeus, the man who threw him into jail in Iraq.
You look at Syrians, right? They were also fighting against the conventional army. It took them 14 years of a bloody civil war to change the regime. But that is the thing. They were religious Muslims fighting a secular government. What are these guys fighting for? What do they believe in? What are they willing to sacrifice? That is the more important question. Because we don't live in a perfect world. A lot of people that are more capable than you just don't care. They would be more capable than you. They would accomplish a lot more than you if they cared, but they don't.
So please, calling us Muslims is like, calling black people the N-word.
Yo, this is insane levels of cringe, Maxon. Look, guys, you know my views on this. I am not a fan of Islam or any Abrahamic religion for that matter. For different reasons I am not going to get into in this video, but this is pure cringe. Or calling us Muslim is like calling blacks N-word. Sure, bro. Sure. A lot of these dudes are in for a very rude awakening. There are a lot of dudes like him. I have showed you those high school kids. All these guys will grow to regret. Regret if there's indeed a regime change, which isn't even guaranteed. Despite all this military operation, military support they have been getting, it ain't a foregone conclusion. But even if there is one, they will have to wait at least a decade to actually rebuild the country, stabilize it. These guys are gonna turn their own country into a Middle Eastern Thailand, and they don't even realize it.
I'm so fortunate that they haven't got me yet, but I guess that's why I'm doing it myself.
If he waited only 2 weeks more, he was gonna get what he was begging for. And his death could have meant something. Guys, to get some stuff done in life, you don't always have to outsmart your opponent. You just have to outwill them.
I tried a lot in my life to find a job, to create something meaningful, and it was blocked by this regime in the end. I mean, laughable. To be born in a place like this, to have no future.
And this is the tough part. I gotta admit this. Guys, let me make something clear again. I am no fan of Iranian government. This is tough because of the sanctions. They have been blocked out of the SWIFT, international financial system. Every opportunity is either banned by your own government, or you can't access it because of the sanctions. Anything fun is also banned because of the Islamic rules. You can't even cope in peace with video games, because platforms like Steam are also banned. I am no fan of Iranian government. I am just saying, look, careful what you wish for. He's right here, but guys like him, who are already 30, 40 years old, I am not sure if destroying your country, bombing it back to the Stone Age is the answer, is what's going to improve your lives. Sure, you are spawn-trapped in a shitty situation, sure. But what bombing it to the ground is gonna do for you as a male, as a sub-8 male? It is gonna take a decade to stabilize it. You are gonna be 40. And while you are suffering from a secular poverty, your own women are gonna do what Southeast Asian women do. Just go and see those countries, bro. That is the life awaiting you. Sure, you got a lot of problems now. You are spawn-trapped already, but it is gonna be from one spawn trap to another. It is definitely pick your struggle situation. Comes down to what kind of videos do you wanna watch. Do you wanna watch M&A videos or do you wanna watch Hammerhand videos? It comes down to that. But I truly believe a lot of these Iranian dudes, especially sub-8 ones, will regret this decision in due time. If there is indeed a regime change indeed, which is clearly the objective. Trump was saying, oh, don't miss this opportunity. Take to the streets after we bomb your country to the ground. We are gonna bomb your country to the smithereens and then you can take over its corpse. And you got those women crying out of joy when the airstrikes began. As long as they can post thirst traps on social media without a VPN, no cost is too great. Let the entire country get leveled, right? I mean, I understand their reaction to it, but what I don't understand is, man, especially sub-7 man, you guys are gonna learn. You are gonna fucking learn. When you are at the front line fighting ethnic separatists while your looks match is on a Twitch live stream with Clavicular. You are gonna learn then, cause that is the future awaiting you. The US is already arming ethnic separatist groups, cause you can only do so much with only airstrikes. There's only so many police stations you can bomb. You will need a ground force to force a regime change. And the liberal opposition of Iran ain't about that life. That is why the US is trying to outsource that to Kurdish people. You guys are gonna be sharing the fate of Ukrainian men 5 years down the line. Forced conscription to fight ethnic separatists, while your own women are on dates with white men at the bars of Tehran. I mean, at least Ukrainian men didn't cheer and celebrate when Russia started pounding their cities. But hey, what are you gonna do, you know? Some people just gotta learn from their mistakes. They won't learn before it is too late. Don't be a free agent in life.